mics. And here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today we're live and we're drinking bourbon.
Yes, we are. And
Or
we've
at least Old Granddad.
Hey,
what is this bottom shelf? We've run out of options, or what's going on here?
We just wanted to do a flight of a good sleeper brand.
Ah, okay.
At least in my opinion. We both really like the Bonded and the 114.
Fair enough, yeah.
It's been a while since I've had the 80 proofer.
What was this one?
But we also have this discontinued. They discontinued making this. This used to be the lower end.
Sure.
This version.
When the low wasn't low enough.
Yeah, it was 86 proof, and they discontinued. They quit making these in 2013.
Oh, wow.
And then they came in here with this. So let's catch up on some comments here. I'm assuming everybody can hear us because nobody's complained about that yet. Let's see who we got. OG Brick is in the house.
Yeah.
Those guys
Tennis Gator.
Tennis Gator is in the house. John Matlick, Tater Dom, Troy and Lisa Toole. Cheers, everybody. I'm sipping Nashville bourbon, Nash Tucky single barrel. Nice. Cheers, Ben, Greg, and everyone. Welcome to the stream. For those of you Patreon supporters, I had to render down tomorrow's video just before we started this, and I need the computer that I'm using right now to upload it. So upload tomorrow's video after the live stream.
Gotcha.
Tonight.
Okay.
So that'll be coming soon. So this is a fresh bottle crack. So this is the Old Granddad, the new bottom shelf one, the 80 proofer.
Okay. How much does this cost?
This one, so this is a 750, and usually they only sell these in liters around here.
Right, yeah.
But I got the 750 for $18.
Okay.
And then I got this for $16, and this is
But
cool.
that was a Dusty sitting on a shelf
Yeah.
probably for for 7 years.
Yeah, they haven't made it in
whatever.
10 years, so
yeah.
It's been sitting for a while. Dr. Robert is in the house. Cheers, have an OGD 114 to play along. Nice.
So Old Granddad has a particular flavor note. It's a Beam product and definitely is in the wheelhouse of other Beam products.
Sure.
But there's a particular flavor note that I'm curious if it's going to show up on all of these. And I call that basically just cinnamon. It's kind of Old Tub and Old Granddad really play that cinnamon forward, almost red tamale, red hots.
Yep, for sure. Your glasses are not on the screen.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Not in frame. I want everyone to see your glasses, Greg. Troy from Baker Drinks. Cheers, all. Looking forward to your thoughts on this blind. Actually, we're not blinding them. We're just going to drink them in order in ascending proof. Historically, have not enjoyed the OGD line, but whiskey tubers keep hyping it up. We may give it another shot. I would recommend it, at least the Bonded and the 114 for sure.
Well,
you can probably
never had these bottom two personally myself, so I'm curious.
Well, you had a pour of this one night on a live stream.
Oh, did I?
Yep, when I first got this.
Even I don't even pay attention to our live streams.
I know. I'm an encyclopedia of our channel's history for the most part. I did once go out and almost bought a bottle for us to review, having completely forgot that we already did the review. And I'm going to do a little recap of that bottle when more people get in here.
Yeah.
Of what that is and why it's different. Because right now on the shelves, you can only get 3 out of 4 of these.
Correct.
Is that all OGD has out there?
I honestly don't know much about it.
From what I understand, I don't think there's anything else besides just these 3, which is interesting. Like they don't have like a single barrel or a...
So do they... what do we know about the brand?
Well,
like, do they do anything special?
I don't think so. I think they're just kind of a basic. Well, you said at the beginning they're kind of bottom shelf. They're seen as bottom shelf. The 114 has gotten quite a bit of hype lately.
Sure.
And so that one actually is starting to dry up in some places, believe it or not.
And what about mash bill? Do we know anything about?
So that's what I was just going to get into. So as you said at the beginning, it is a Beam product.
It is.
And it's the same mash bill as Basil Hayden.
Mm.
So when we complain about Basil Hayden, we say we wish it was a higher proof.
By we, you mean you.
Well, me and the rest of the world, the rest of the internet. This kind of, I mean, it's the same mash bill. Obviously, it's not aged the same. At least, Basil Hayden is, I think they're said to be 6 years now. They used to be 8.
Sure.
I'm assuming these are probably 4. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I almost brought over the Old Tub, and maybe just do a comparison. I'll do one with that.
I think we could do a standalone video of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Of just comparing those two, because I think it'll be interesting.
They're quite similar, but I mean, Old Tub is also very cinnamon forward.
Mm-hmm.
Not to spoiler alert, but
yeah, it is. So yeah, we wanted to get into these and just kind of see. And at some point, I want to do regular Old Granddad versus Basil Hayden.
That would also be another. Actually, we could do those as a flight, maybe on a live stream.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. All right, so we've got
and just to confirm, this isn't this.
That is Basil Hayden.
That is Basil Hayden. The picture of him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we have Michael Faubister. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome to the chat. Sparky Plays is here. OGD Bond is one of my favorite whiskeys. All the other ones are not available in my area. That's a bummer. What's your area? I'd be interested in finding out. Aiden's here.
He lives in Sacramento.
Brian Vaughn is here. If you're new to the chat, you may not get that joke, but let's see. Okay, John Matlick is here, and he says, guys, I'll be 64 in August. Been drinking OGD since I was in college. Back then, it was $7.99 at 86 proof. That's this bottle right here.
That 86 proof that you can't find anymore.
If early times for $6.99 when broke, it's been a bottle I've had on my shelf for decades. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Shred's in the house. Oh, Sparky Play is in Alberta. So he's responsible for the air quality here
thanks,
in Minnesota.
You can have your smoke.
If you could go out into your yard and take a fan and just point it north to pull some of this wildfire smoke out of here, that'd be great. So
I almost made a comment about Canada. I won't even finish it. It could get us in trouble.
Would we lose someone in the chat? Or
we may get banned in Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to do that. We've got a couple of Canada viewers. So okay. So since there's a few more people in here, and we've gotten some comments on, people they've been positive comments on liking the
the bottom shelf.
Yeah, this flight. This one here is the standout that's not available anymore. They discontinued this in 2013. Found a liquor store in a small town. Like the liquor store was barely bigger than my bedroom.
Okay.
In a very, very small town. And they had a whole shelf full of these just collecting dust for $16. And I looked at it as like, something weird about this. Like they don't make this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked it up. And so I bought a few of them. I got this one to drink. And then I've got two backups, just for kind of
that's
collector's item deal. So
you think they have any more? Or they're probably.
I would imagine because
is this the same place that had that wild turkey spiced?
No, different part of the state.
Yeah, Ben seems to find these really weird bottles that have been discontinued for years, and they're just sitting on some small liquor store.
It's interesting when you stop into the small town stores. Sure. Like, don't shy away from those. Most of the time, you're not going to find anything, but you may find like even just a discontinued label.
But that's a really good example of a unicorn that's a different kind of unicorn. It's not Pappy 23, but they don't make that anymore.
They don't make it anymore. Yeah. So once they're gone, they're gone. And that might be something cool to have 20 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. So that's why I brought a couple of them, actually. Let's see. I saw definitely. Okay, here, Hatfield Barbecue. Hey, guys, I went to a bourbon event, paid $45 for an Eagle Rare and $49 for an E.H. Taylor small batch. That's awesome. Shredward, OGD night, sweet. I'm imagining you're a fan, Shredward, then, or is that sarcasm?
So, Shred, I'm curious, for those of you who are like speaking fondly of OGD, I'm a little bit surprised there's so much like positive comment, but that's okay. But I'm also curious, how do you feel about regular Jim Beam stuff? And maybe Basil Hayden, if you want to go there. Probably less Basil Hayden's fan because of the low proof.
I'm just going to nose all of these right off the bat. Oh, man. I mean, as soon as you get to that bonded, there's definitely a...
Oh, wow. That 86 really is like creamy and different than...
It comes across as a little dusty, and maybe that's power of suggestion that it's just... I know it's a dusty old
The 100 is notably...
On the lower proof ones, I think on the higher proof ones on the nose, what stands out is that cinnamon note. That it's especially synonymous, like you said, with Old Tub and this one. Maybe it's that 100 proof point that really brings that out. These two, the 86 and the 80, I definitely get more of a high rye, like kind of a bit of that clove and almost a bit of licorice. What's up, Ryan Frank?
Ryan Frank. Wednesday nights with the bourbon note.
Brian Vaughn says, hey, Bobby is in the house.
Whoa, yeah.
Brian Vaughn says he likes Knob Creek. You can keep the rest of it as far as Beam products go. Aiden says 114 is awesome. I did a blind Wild Turkey 101 flight, 2014 bottle, older label and new label.
Yeah.
Old label 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then older, new label was last, just keeps dropping in age, I assume. That's kind of a bummer. I did get those wild turkeys that were discontinued as well.
So yeah, we have you found some old labels for wild turkey
in the
picked up a couple.
Bahamas, yeah.
And we did a comparison between that super old label, maybe 2014, the one that they sold up until last year, and then that newest one. We did a flight of those three, and those like the oldest one was definitely better.
Yeah, for sure. But that was that one that was in the sun for like 7 years. That one I feel like has changed.
Okay.
And we'll have to go back to that because I have had a couple of pours of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that one has lost a little bit over time. Huh. And maybe that's from the damage the sun did to it and then the exposure to the
But I have another, I mean, you picked me up a bottle of that as well. So
yeah,
I could open that one.
Well, I mean, I'll go back to the Bahamas and see if I can find more. All right, let's get into this first one. This is the 80 proofer. Cheers, everybody.
Aiden throwing Campari under the bus. Cinnamon showed up. Proof's there a little bit.
Sir Cuts is here. What's up, Sir Cuts? This one is super rounded out, obviously, because of the 80 proof point, and we're not expecting much out of it.
It's got really nice flavors, and they're all hiding behind a blanket of water.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I had a pour of Ancient Age 80 proof.
Why?
Well, just as a control bourbon, because I ate dinner not long before that, and then so I was trying to get the, even the palate out a little bit. And that one, I mean, the 80 proof Old Grandad is definitely better. The Ancient Age at 3 years, and I'm assuming this is probably 4. Doesn't say anything, and it's a straight bourbon, so non-age stated.
Yeah. You know how you call yourself the Brown Foreman Truffle Pig?
Yep.
I think I'm going to call myself the Ancient Age hater or something. It just, there's nothing about Ancient Age that I like.
Yeah, but see, I've always been, well, you like the Benchmark 8.
I do. I like lots of stuff. I just don't like Ancient Age.
Oh, see, I thought you've always been nicer to Ancient Age than I have even, because I don't like it either. And that Ancient Age 90 that people always say is like I don't get it.
Yeah.
That one's just not for me.
But there are other bottom shelfers I like.
Whatever bottle loses the OGD blind is still a winner. Man, hanging AZ's in the house. We've got a lot of
like OGD has a fan base.
It's a sleeper brand. I'm telling you,
there's a lot of like closet OGD fans.
Yeah,
and you know what? And actually, that's actually kind of cool that there are people who like a definite bottom shelf. But I mean, it's a perfect bourbon because it's always available. They sell it in a few different proof points to hit whatever it is that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So I think that's ideal, and it's inexpensive.
Yep.
And yeah, you don't get the whole hunting and price gouging. Although maybe the 114 is going to maybe peek into the, hard to find a little bit.
Everybody seems to be on board with the, one person said that OG Brick says the Ancient Age 90 proof isn't bad. It's not horrible. I just don't really get.
Or is that the one we did have someone send us a bottle?
No, that's the one I bought in Montana. I got the big home wrecker of it. Yeah. Everybody else seems to hate Ancient Age. The Gimp Shredder. Let's see, what does it say? Hilarious. The Jim Pock. I said Gimpock. I just went with Gimp right away. I don't know what that says about me. I'm assuming it's Jim Pock.
All right, I'm moving on to bourbon number 2.
Do you have 2 OGD 80 proof pours? Hold on a second. I just lost that. Do we have to do them? Is that what you're asking? Just to do the whole flight, sure. Not a fan of OGD bonded though. Prefer the 114. Interesting.
No, was he thinking that these are the same? Because this is not 80. This is 86.
Okay, yeah, we have had like probably 10 more people jump in the chat since we explained this. So for anyone now, there's only 3 expressions of
correct. They stopped selling 9 years ago.
10 years ago. Well, 2013.
Whatever.
And so, yes, to answer your question, this is actually an Old Grandad 86 proof.
That you happen to find sitting on a shelf dusty.
Yeah.
But
so this is the 80 proof that's available now. This is the 86 proof that they stopped making in 2013. This is the bonded, and this is the 114. So yes, good question, because this does look weird if you're just joining and you know the OGD lineup. So I'm getting into the discontinued 2013.
I just had a sip of it.
Interesting. I'm not noticing much of a difference, to be honest.
Really?
In proof. That extra 6 proof points isn't really coming through.
I'm getting a ton more flavor. Like I really like this, and maybe I'm had a bad day and I need a flight of bourbon. But this one's working for me. It's got the nice cinnamon that turns into vanilla on the finish.
There we go. I got a little bit more that time.
And a little bit of wood spice. It's not super well aged, but it's okay. It's good color in the bottle.
Hangin says you guys had to do the cliche old guys drinking bourbon thumbnail. Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed that in the thumbnail, I aged us with like an age filter. It didn't work as well on you because I was like taking a picture of a picture with the age filter. I almost came over to your house today or yesterday and like, can I take a picture of you with an age filter? Which I will be doing at some point. But yes, thank you for noticing that. I'm going to go back to the regular 80 after having that.
You know, I under poured on the 80. I've got to do it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, now I'm definitely noticing a little bump in proof. I wasn't at first.
I like that 86. You know, if they still made that, I'd keep that around.
Yeah, I mean that could be a decent utility bourbon.
Utility bourbon. I think it's better than that. I like it. This one, the first thing I get is that water getting in the way, and then the flavors kind of show up watered down. The 86, and I don't know if I think it's more the age as opposed to like slightly higher proof.
Yeah,
but I'm just getting a better, smoother, and I don't say that in a bad way, just a nicer, rounder flavor profile.
Sure.
Yeah,
and so ironically, OGD is cheaper and better than Basil Hayden. Sadly enough, it's not even ironic because I think Basil Hayden is just a rip-off brand that.
So, but I've traveled recently, well, a while ago, and I met several people who, because I do a bourbon channel, we talked about bourbon, and they all happen to be Basil Hayden fans. And I think it's more they see it as a luxury brand, and they don't really understand the age and the proof because they're not that into bourbon. And so I think OG or Beam is targeting a specific
a specific audience
market.
Yeah. They want maybe to get, which in my opinion, it's kind of the illusion of a nicer bourbon.
Yes,
it does come. I mean, it did win our 80 proof points, thing, but it was also more expensive by almost double than every other bottle on there.
Yeah.
All right, got to drop off later, nerds. Cheers, Aiden. Have a good night. Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. Steven is in the house.
Tipsy.
OGD Bonded is great in an old fashioned. 114 is even better. Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, Hatfield Barbecue said he's heard that this makes a great old fashioned. I bet you would make a killer old fashioned.
So this is a secret, and I think this is going to be a new video series that I'm going to do. When I make simple syrup, I actually put cinnamon in with the sugar, and so there's already some cinnamon in there.
Okay.
But I could try 114 on it and see if it's like a cinnamon bomb. Anyway, all right, I'm thinking Bonded.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at the 100 proof point, we're getting somewhere with these. I will say this. Out of all the 80 proofers that I can think of that I've had off the bat, this one might be the best one. And I know we did the 80 proof points. We used, did 4 of them.
Sure.
But we may need to do, and I think we did something similar in a live stream one time where we took, the basic offering from like 4 different distilleries, like Jim Beam White, Old Number 7, whatever the other ones were. Get a few of the 80 proofers, the basic offerings, and pin them all against each other, because we didn't. I
was going to go somewhere, but then you didn't finish that sentence.
Okay.
But, when we did the Penelope flight, we were both actually most impressed with the 80 proofer because it really brought a lot. Yes, it's 80 proof, it's watered down, but it worked for both of us. So I think maybe we should compare this Basil Hayden for sure.
I'm questioning your memory on this. I don't recall liking
the white label. We were actually pleasantly surprised. Now we didn't think it was great.
Pleasantly surprised, but I don't think we liked it better than the other ones.
Well, no, but the others are high proof.
We were the most surprised by it. Okay, that makes sense.
We were kind of impressed that it brought something.
Do a side-by-side Wild Turkey versus OGD at 80 proof.
Yep. So
that would be impossible unless we proofed it down from 81. But we could do that.
No,
it was 81 versus 80 proof. I was just joking.
You probably killed that bottle of Wild Turkey, right?
The 81 proof.
Funny. We had done this channel for over a year, and somehow at some point we decided to do a Wild Turkey flight, and we were talking about it, and we had never had the Wild Turkey 81. Either one of us.
Yeah, neither one of us had ever had it. We just
We've
never
obviously
bothered
had
with it.
lots of other Wild Turkey stuff and tons of other things. Just totally skipped the 81.
Yeah.
So you bought a bottle.
Jim Pox says that cinnamon simple syrup sounds good. We make orange simple syrup and love it. And, oh man, that would be good.
So okay, I know that
That's
we're going off on a
idea. And
tangent.
they do have orange. Do you use regular bitters then, or orange bitters with the orange simple syrup, or you do regular because you don't want to overwhelm the orange?
I take a orange and slice it into fairly thin slices, and I put the oranges in an air fryer where they get a little bit crispy and like blackened. And then I put them in a baggie and put it in the freezer. So when I make an old fashioned, I take a slice of orange that's been charred and put it in the old fashioned. It's
Ooh,
amazing.
That does sound good.
Anyway, so
Hatfield's asking, are we in the basement or is that a green screen again? I'm convinced that we don't even need the basement anymore. The green screen
we
is
need
so
the
good.
basement. Yeah, the basement worked out really well, but this is literally just
Yeah, this is still the green screen.
this is an upstairs bedroom
Yep.
with a green sheet nailed to the wall.
Yeah, it's still the green screen, but we could hear this is what we're really rocking. This is what it looks like for us. We can play around, but we'll just
no
go
put
back
something
to
else like just like one of the bourbon ones or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that one doesn't look as good.
The light bulbs are too big.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
That's what she said.
Should we leave this one? That one's kind of cool.
Yeah,
You guys like the barrels? All right, let's leave the barrels for a little bit. But getting back to that, hold on a second.
wait, there was an Austin Nichols reference. What was that?
Where is this?
Down a little bit more.
Well, let me get to
Okay,
this.
yep.
John Matlick says, do a Wild Turkey 81 101 versus OG 80 and Bonded. That would be a killer flight. Yeah, we're gonna have to remember to do that for sure. Baker Drinks is here. Hey, go subscribe to Baker Drinks and Bad Axe Bobby as well at Bad Axe Bourbon.
Seriously, you need an air fryer and air fry your oranges.
Is that what you do?
That is literally what I do, and it's awesome.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's weird.
So
I have an Austin Nichols Wild Turkey 81 rye. Hesitant to open it because it's such a dusty, but I hear it's amazing. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, those are hard to open. I mean,
yeah, when they're
completely no longer available, you know.
are they even available at all? I don't know.
That's what I mean. They're probably
Not. Yeah.
all right. Just hanging in the Rick House.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Walmart
Baconator
backdrop?
is here. Let's see. What does this say? Old Granddad 114 is an American dream boat. It's the Tom Cruise of bourbon. Barrels look good. Brian Vaughn, Hanging AZ. What year did they quit using Austin Nichols on the turkey? So I have one that was discontinued, I think also in 2013. That's the ones I got in the Bahamas. And it's not the old label you're thinking, but it does have it says Austin Nichols on it.
Hmm.
So I think that might have been the last one, 2013. I think that one was 2013.
in
I might
that
have to
area.
go back and look. Okay, so the Bonded I'm into.
The Bonded I like a lot.
Yeah.
It is we're starting to get the dry tannins from the wood.
It does come across as a little oakier.
So I don't know if this is 4 years. Well, it has to be at least 4 years. I don't know if it's any more than that though.
No, but it's definitely got that nice barrel spice to
It
it.
does, but it's
Under
but
pour
I'm
almost a
also
little bit.
I'm also not getting tons of like it's not a 7 or 8 year bourbon. I don't think.
No, I
Yeah.
can't imagine it is.
Right.
And this usually runs around here like 20.
28.
I don't even think it's that much.
Really?
In a lot of places.
Honestly,
Yeah,
don't
mid
look.
20s for a liter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the granddaddy of them here, the 114. Okay, so let us know in the comments, is this difficult to find where you live? If they sell it there at all. One person had said earlier that they can't get the other ones in their area. Hold on a second. Hanging AZ. The Bonded gets so much better with air for a month. I know you guys are neck pour deniers. I don't know if we're necessarily, so we should probably clear the air on this, and we are going to do a science video. We really need to just get into this and do it.
That's what she said.
But
I don't endorse that comment.
I don't know if I'm saying that the neck pour doesn't exist.
We have
sometimes,
absolutely said that on the channel before.
but
I think our opinion could be mildly
we've always just said
uncertain at the moment.
we don't really subscribe to it. And what I usually mean by that is I think it's given way too much credit.
Hmm.
Like I think, okay, yeah, maybe there's a little bit. I don't think if you pour the neck pour and then cork the bottle without drinking, maybe when you get down to like here, it might change it a tad. But I think the whole like whoever gets the first pour out of the bottle.
So
versus
is that the good pour or is that the bad pour?
People they'd say it's the bad pour. But I think that's maybe.
But when you drive home and it's sitting on your backseat of your car doing this, what difference does the neck pour?
I think it's just the fresh pour out of the bottle. It's hitting the air because, of course, bourbon has never touched air before. It's been in the bottle, so I don't know.
It's been in an air-proof barrel for 5 years.
Well, and here's the thing: Mike Myers in the house. Cheers, Mike. Shredward's trashing me
again. What do you say?
Clear the air. Nice choice of words. Dollar General Bill Burr. I love it. I was just telling a friend of mine yesterday that there was a guy in the chats that referred to me as Dollar General Bill Burr, and he just loved
You should
it.
try the 114. It's pretty good.
Right, let's get into it. Anyway, I think the influence of the neck pour
vanilla bomb
is vastly overrated and overcredited.
It'd be better if they added a whole bunch of water to it. No, actually, I don't mean that. It's very good.
Yeah,
it brings in a lot of nice sugars that probably come from the wood.
A little more tannic than I was expecting, than I remember. 114 isn't on the shelf in Idaho, but I picked it up on vacation and compared it to the bonded.
Which part of the Idaho?
Yeah,
I used to live in Coeur d'Alene. That's why I ask.
Is there any place you haven't lived?
I've lived a lot of places, and it wasn't always running. I wasn't running away from somewhere else.
Oh, okay. I was looking for the pun in that. So every once in a while, because sometimes you'll make a joke, and then I won't get it, and then I'm editing the video later on. I'm like, oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the reason why is A, I'm old, and B, was the military and bounced around, and my parents were basically gypsies that bounced around. So
nice.
Yeah. So I've lived lots of places.
The one thing I dislike about OGD and Knob is those junk synthetic corks that come unglued. Well, this one's a real cork. This one's definitely synthetic. That one's real.
It is.
I'm trying to picture the Knob Creeks now. The single barrels definitely. Do those have
I think they're synthetic.
Are they?
I think the vast majority of the Knob Creeks I have are the synthetic. We've always complained about the wax they use as being very non-waxy. It just shatters, but.
Let's see. The guys at the Whiskey Tribe have a way of spinning the bottle, and that's what makes it taste without the neck pour. Okay, weird.
I don't like.
I mean, is it though? Like,
if you literally set it on your shelf for years and it settled, and then you like very carefully poured right from the top, maybe. But I think it gets mixed up if you drive home and you open it within a month or whatever.
I mean, I understand the science that maybe you get enough air to whiskey
and
ratio.
A couple of years if it's sitting there open and the cork leaks a tiny bit.
But like if we get a Pappy 15, we've never had it before. We're super excited. Sure. I don't care if I get the neck pour out of that. Like I'm not worried about it. Like it's going to affect, like I'm not getting the full experience or whatever. Like I could care less. I'll take the neck pour of any of your bottles any day.
That's what she said.
Let's rephrase that.
This is even more appropriate.
Totally clean comment I've ever seen.
Okay, let's see what this Sparky Play says. I recently opened and poured a Knob Creek single barrel, and it was bitter, not enjoyable. I let it sit for a week, and holy cow, what a difference! So here's the thing, and I hear that from a lot of people.
Did you let it sit for a week in the cow? How does that work?
Oh my God. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Hold on, I meant to go. There we go. I'm late on the sound effects. I reorganized them to try to make it easier. And
all right, what's Peter White saying? Check the back of my Russell's Reserve barrel from 14 and orange label says, and it's also still.
Oh, Austin Nichols on the back. Okay,
cool.
The one I have still says it on the front. Okay, so here's the thing, Sparky Plays. The other thing, and this goes with tasting bourbon in general, whatever you had to eat that day, whatever, maybe sometimes I'll have one of my favorite bourbons and for whatever reason, it's just not hitting right because something, and it's a me thing. So maybe you're dehydrated. You ever drink bourbon when you're dehydrated? I don't know why you would, but it just gets bitter and So
I had an idea Let's get a decent bourbon.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, it happens.
Write it
occasionally.
down. We'll put it on the fridge next to
No,
all
I'm,
your
I'm
other
telling
ideas.
everybody
and we
on the
can
internet. Here's my
look
idea.
at it every day.
We're gonna get a decent bourbon, and we're gonna film 3 days in a row the exact same bourbon. review.
Okay.
And maybe it'll be blind. Like we'll do it like legitimately, and then maybe we'll do a blind and a comparison or whatever, and see if our opinion changes over the course of a couple of days. We have to figure it out exactly how it'll work mechanically, but because I think that there's a possibility, depending on what you had to eat and all kinds of other things.
Right. Here's the only problem with that is if it does change it, then it completely discredits the idea of reviewing bourbon at all, and that's bad for business. Baconator says, I heard OGD 114 was to be discontinued on account of it being replaced by Basil Hayden. True story. Hope it never happens. I swear to God, if that happens, I will never buy a Jim Beam product again.
Well, I wonder if that means that clearly something is happening with Basil Hayden because they, in this past year or
have come up with 15 other releases.
They've got all of these other flavored or finished type releases, which is cool. We just want to see them do some of that cool stuff at different proof points. Mm-hmm. And I think Basil Hayden will always stay at 80 proof.
Yeah, where's the Knob Creek Toasted or the Knob Creek Subtle Smoke?
Subtle Smoke or something like that. But maybe, Basil Hayden is pretty popular, and I think they sell quite a bit of it. And so maybe they'll stick to the Basil Hayden name and then go to different proof points. And who knows?
If they did that, fine, but don't get rid of this.
Yeah.
If they got rid of this just to do more BS 80 proof Basil Hayden,
what if they called that a Basil Hayden 114?
If they still charge $30 for it.
Yeah, exactly. At about that price and about that, that type of a bottle.
Let's see. AZ shreds here. Greg is probably ex-CIA. CIA. He's been all over the planet. Hey, Major is in the house. What's up, Major? Good evening, boys. Going to listen to you guys on my drive home from work. Cheers. That's awesome. Good to have you here. Man, we're really behind on the comments here.
We are. Yeah, we're talking about the wax from the...
Yeah, the wax on the... But the new wax on the new Knob Creeks has gotten better because I think the good people at Jim Beam probably watch our channel and they heard us bitching about that enough. Yeah. Let's see. When are you guys going to play around with the old tubs similar to old Granddad? Yeah, actually, Baconator, at the very beginning of this, we were talking about doing a comparison between the Bonded and old tub because we find them to be very similar too. Super cinnamon forward, a little nutty.
And then we want to compare this one, the 80 proof, versus a Basil Hayden because A, this is a picture of Basil Hayden, and B, we think they're very similar to Basil Hayden. It's the same mash bill, we think?
Same mash bill, yeah.
Different barrel handling and aging.
But it's probably a 4-year versus a 6-year, which that can make a difference. Well, I think you may have to...
I'm close.
Okay. For those of you who watch this show regularly, I think we all know where this is going. We at least have to try the blend.
Yeah, agreed. This is going to be a cinnamon bomb for sure.
Let's see. Hey, Alyssa's here.
Alyssa.
What's up, Alyssa? My Stranahan single barrel pick was extremely different on the first pours. Okay.
Wow.
I did hear that. I remember her telling me about that. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Alyssa here in the chat is she runs and partially owns Spirits Liquor, which is...
You probably saw a video on our channel recently.
Yeah, if you watched our bourbon hunting video from yesterday, that's our favorite liquor store. That is the Alyssa who runs it. Unfortunately, she wasn't there when we were there to film. But yeah, that's awesome to have you in the chat here, Alyssa.
Gonna do it.
Are we doing the blend? Okay, we're gonna get the blend here. Now, Greg goes out to the middle.
That's what she said.
I go with more of a cascading pour.
Well, I do cascading. This one to this one to this one to this one.
Oh, you do? Okay. I thought you met them in the middle. All right.
Song
let's
about
get into
that,
it here.
but I don't remember it exactly. Not well enough to sing.
There probably is. Okay. You guys saw the commercials for the Red Dragon bourbon barrel aged Fireball? No, I did not see that.
Commercials. So I see lots of references to Fireball all the time, but bourbon aged Fireball, like I don't hate Fireball. If I'm honest, it's good with an ice cube in the summer because it's super sweet.
It's good for what it's
exactly. I'm not claiming it's a super quality kind of like sipper.
We did drink. Was it Fireball and hot Mountain Dew? Remember they had the flaming hot Mountain Dew. There's like spicy Mountain Dew. We mix it with Fireball.
Was it Fireball that we mixed that with?
Yeah, and then we
Okay.
had Fireball and flaming hot Cheetos, and then we
Yeah.
ate the flaming hot Cheetos,
Yeah.
then drank Jack Daniel's single barrel proof.
Mhm.
Just the dumbest,
Mhm.
and it was a lot of fun.
It was.
It's a good video,
It
actually.
is a good video. Yeah.
Rocking it, bottle 321. I can pick up a lot more sweetness in bourbons after brushing my teeth. I've also heard that some people that like to chew gum while they sip. Are you messing with us?
Maybe if you chew Big Red, but not like Double Mint or Wrigley's or something.
Brian Vaughn says compare an old bottle to a fresh crack. Funny you should bring that up. So
Brian, a
Sugar Kitty's here.
a year ago, we opened a bottle of Buffalo Trace. That happened to be what it was. And then a year later, we had that bottle down at like the
From the same case.
yeah.
So
So we had two
presumably
bottles.
the same large batch.
Yep. So one of which was drank down like 90%, and the other one was never touched, right? And I bought them at the same time. We did a comparison. Blind Flight could not tell the difference. One was almost gone, one was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
That bottle's been sitting in my liquor cabinet again.
So we joked about it because it had been sitting like
Yeah.
at like this much left for a year,
Mhm.
and then we joked at the end of the video. It's like, well, now let's let it sit this much for another year.
Yeah.
That would have been a year in January. So we're at a year and a
so
half.
it's a
now.
year and a half.
Yeah, so we could do that,
Mhm.
but we have done that, and that's one of the reasons why the neck pour just doesn't really seem, you know, seem to be a thing. So I'm kind of I'm seeing you guys are chatting amongst yourselves. I'm way behind in the chat, so if we
Yeah.
miss some of you,
That's right.
I was thinking of getting a Knob Creek 12 for my next bottle, $60. Any other suggestions in that price range? Old Forester 1920 is great. Any of the Doc Swinsons, that's a great one
Wild
to
Turkey
explore.
Rare Breed.
Yeah,
It's
rare breed for sure.
112.6 or
But that
whatever.
Knob Creek 12 is great.
Oh, it is.
If you
Yeah,
want that
Knob Creek
100
is a
proof point,
really,
yeah,
really good
it's
choice.
fantastic.
Penelope Architect is probably in that same price range. It's a double oak. That one's kind of cool.
Yeah. Mike Meyer says, ooh, the one that hides bottles. I will be checking it out soon for sure.
That's awesome.
Got a lot of positive feedback on that.
Yeah.
Baker drinks. I thought only people drink Fireball as a shot. Yeah,
Well, I may be the only weird one, but in the summer, if I'm sitting out on the porch, I want something cold, and so I don't tend to drink bourbon unless I make it an old fashioned. But Fireball with an ice cube sitting out on the porch as a slow sipper works for me.
mm-hmm.
And I don't do it a lot.
I live across the street from folks. He's out there every
Well, I'm out there
afternoon.
every day, but I'm not drinking bourbon every day.
Sure it is.
What the hell? Are you drunk?
Not yet.
I think 007 liked Old Granddad, which it must be that 86 in an old fashioned.
Yeah.
He once said in one of his movies. So yeah, the other thing is
It would have been a Roger Moore
if you watch
007.
right.
He's not the real 007.
If you watched Bad Santa, this is what he's drinking throughout that.
Oh, really?
Is this particular
Is that
bottle?
Billy Bob Thornton?
Yep. Oh my God, the Fireball and Mountain Dew. Yeah, Alyssa saw that. If it weren't for copyright issues, Whiskey Encore's band should be Cheech and the Flaming Hot Cheetos. Nice. Walker, what's that earpiece for? Just wondering. It's for the sound effects, like when we do the sound effects.
What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we don't have a speaker in here, so this is how we get.
Well, the other problem is whenever, because we want to be able to hear the sound effects,
Mhm.
and the other thing is if we have a guest,
Yeah.
when we had them talking through the speaker on the monitor, it would
Mhm.
feed back through our microphones and it would echo out there. So Greg's got one too. I
I do.
try to keep them on our inside ears because then we're more like. Okay, I saw a comment here that I felt the need to. Since there's more people here, this Old Granddad is one that was discontinued in 2013. So this is like a 10-year-old bottle.
But you found it recently, well, in the last 6 months or whatever.
Within the last year, yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there twice, and they've had a whole shelf full of it for
Mhm.
$16. Dusty old discontinued bottles.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Rare Breed is $45 at Costco. That's
Such
awesome.
a great bottle to grab and keep on the shelf. 1792 Full Proof is another one, about $42 around here, and it is absolutely great.
And Alyssa has two different store
Store
picks
picks?
of it. At
Yeah, once she got
Spirits.
she did a pick, and then there was that other.
No, that was
Oh.
the Stranahan.
Oh, gotcha.
The only reason we didn't, because I was going to grab one of those 1792 store picks.
Well, you can't spend infinite money.
Exactly. And then you had brought up, it's like, well, maybe we should get stuff that would like we haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And
Right.
get the. So I went with that Doc Swinson's exploratory cask, which I'm super excited about,
Yeah. Okay.
and the
Stranahan's and the
God, wait, Heaven's Door. God,
Ah.
I had Uncle Nearest in my brain with the kind of more square bottle. Okay, let's get into the blend here. I have been sipping this. So this is a blend of all four.
so it's peanut butter and cinnamon, which is no surprise if you know anything about the where this whiskey comes from.
So John J. Bowman. Hold on a second. Where'd Sugar Kitty go? J.J. Bowman potentially in that price range if you like a BT profile. Oh, he's probably answering somebody else's question.
So is that actually a Buffalo Trace product, or is it just? I don't actually know.
I
anything
don't
about
know
Bowman.
if they're making it or if it's like a Sazerac, because it gets
Sure.
so confusing, and maybe
Yeah.
Alyssa could chime in.
Yeah, I don't
Sugar
know
Kitty
anything
tends
about
to have
Bowman.
this finger on the pulse.
That's what she said.
Hanging AZ says, my eyes did go straight to the 1792 foolproof pick in your video.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we're lucky in that regard because a lot of states don't have that.
Yeah.
I love that she hides the bottles. Alyssa, that's great. That's a bourbon hunt. Yeah, that's what's cool about it. Like, she still will do like raffles for rare bottles.
Yeah, totally.
But what's cool about that is that
You know, Mike, it's funny you should mention that. That's the bottle I'm thinking about going back and getting, but it's probably not there anymore.
well, probably not, since I mean a lot of people watch that video.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I should mention, the bourbon hunting videos tend to get us a little bump in subscribers. And we did get put over, we did
yeah.
hit 2,000 subscribers
2,000 subscribers.
overnight. So that's pretty awesome.
Good job, subscribers.
So yeah, thank you to all of you guys who are in the chat that are subscribed. If you're in the chat and you're not, please go ahead and subscribe. And I did mention that on Bourbon School's live stream last night. So we got a couple
Oh, nice.
of subs from that, a couple of DOMs as well.
I don't understand that reference, but
Somebody in there will get it. If Aiden was here, he'd get it. It's not really my thing, but I get the joke. Hey, Bourbon is here. Whiskey Uncensored. All right. Enjoying the hunt videos as well as Bad Bob's. I don't know Bad Bob, but I'll go check that out. Is that another channel, I'm assuming?
yeah, I don't know that one.
So yeah, we hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. There was something else I was going to mention in the live stream, and I can't remember what it was. I just had it. When I get distracted,
Samples?
I just... Well, okay. So, and then today, the bar...
oh, yeah, you can finish that.
Bourbon, you know I understood it. The bar did actually get... Hanging AZ is talking about Bobby's. Yeah, Bobby's got some good bourbon hunting videos as well. The bar did get fixed today.
So the concrete underneath the bar.
Yeah, so the reason
supposedly-
we've been filming in the garage and in front of a green screen like this is because I got some water in my basement where we normally film. So I had to pull the floor back, move the bar out. All the whiskey is in, totes and boxes in the other room. So that did get fixed today, but I do have to wait another 7 days for the concrete to dry. So next week's videos are going to be
the same. as
still
they've
in
done
the
for
garage.
yeah.
Hopefully we can try to get one done maybe on Thursday. I was kind of thinking for the 4th of July doing a re-release.
Of what?
Well, we did the America bourbon last year, and that was so long ago it doesn't have much views. And on the off chance we don't get around to getting something edited over the weekend because there's a lot of plans and stuff, re-release the holiday 4th of July video.
Was it a good video?
I don't know.
No.
You get what you pay for.
No, I think videos get better, I mean, we get better doing this, and so we
Yeah.
can film a new review, even if it's the same whiskey. I think we should revisit a lot of these
Yeah, for sure.
ones that we did 2 years ago, because
Yeah, let us know in the chat. What's your opinion on that? Because we reviewed a bunch of bourbons when we first started this, and most of them have like 20, 30, 40 views because they're from 2 years ago. When you subscribe to a new channel, yeah, 2.5 years ago, you don't just go back.
Yeah, right.
Through
The first time
250
we reviewed Buffalo
videos.
Trace,
Yeah, do you guys think we should go back and we did a review of Old Tub, but
Yeah.
2.5 years ago, we did a review of Buffalo Trace and all these other ones.
Sure.
Jordan G, welcome to the chat. Says always a good day when a hunting video comes out. Well, that's awesome. Glad you're enjoying those.
Cool.
The 1920 is 100. Sorry, that's what I meant. OG. Start reviewing the exact same whiskey every year. That's not a bad idea.
That's a great idea. And somebody threw Bobby under the bus. They were saying that they're not a big fan of the mustache. Yeah, someone, it was in the chat.
That they're not a fan of Bobby's mustache?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
I'm just saying what I'm reading.
Yes, do them again. Okay. Sure, redo those reviews. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So, okay. So the blend, we haven't said whether we like this or not.
It's great. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
think
actually pretty good.
It is about 360 proof and 16 years old, if I'm honest. I have pretty high expectations at this point.
Mhm.
But it's still only $80. That's the cool thing.
Oh, that's true. I know what I was going to say earlier, so this is funny. So whenever we get closer to like a milestone, I'll always, like, I put a thing on Instagram. We had 15 more subscribers to 2,000. So I put a thing that says, hey, which 15 of you are going to make this happen? And
Sure.
Just a little thing to kind of say, hey, if you're not subscribed, help out. I put a post on a Facebook page, one of the local Minnesota ones. And I said, hey, we're only 25 subscribers away from another milestone. We'd love to have 25 more, local Minnesotans.
Yeah, I saw that post.
Interact.
Actually.
Did you see the comments?
No, I didn't read it.
One person put already subscribed. Thank you.
Thank you.
One person put maybe, and then one person just wrote no. I was like,
Thank you for the effort.
yeah, I was like, you could have just not done it. You didn't have to do
it's
me like
amazing.
that. It's
Yeah,
like,
some people are just.
and it was just like, you actually just took the time to, like, it was like he was just casually scrolling by and it's like, what, the bourbon? Oh, no, hell no. I have to let them know. No. At the same time, I kind of respect the guy's game a little bit. It was pretty funny.
Well, yeah, he set expectations appropriately.
Let's see. Jira? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce
He
that.
lives in Sacramento.
From Sacramento. If you're new to the chat, this is a Greg joke. We've got a bunch of new people just joined the chat.
Yeah,
Did
it's awesome.
did y'all say which one
You
was
know
better late to the live? So
I think he should just please, what can I do? Beg him every day.
the dude who commented no?
Yeah, just make him just relentless.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Hi, Bob. Just checking in today. See if you subscribe.
See if you're still, is there anything we can do?
How
Can I get
the
you
family?
anything?
Just, making sure everything's okay with you. Have
Yeah.
you subscribed
So-
every single day for the rest of your life?
It's not a bad idea. We didn't. So we like the 114 the best. I mean, we're kind of more into the high proof stuff. But the bonded is fantastic. These two this one is discontinued, no longer available.
I actually really like this one. Was surprisingly good and
Mhm.
interesting. The 100 is great, and the 114 is I think it's fair to call it a bottom shelf sleeper.
Yeah.
For less than $30, absolutely you should have that on the shelf.
This one here.
No, well, this one.
Oh yeah, both the bonded and the 114 for being sub 30. I mean, you're not out much if you don't.
What do you mean
like
90?
It.
What do you mean 90?
90 is meh. I think they're talking bourbon.
Oh.
Yeah. So the 114, I didn't actually. When I first got this 2 years ago, there's an old Instagram post of mine that I put up there, and I was like, I don't know, I'm getting alcohol and bitterness out of it. And I was already getting into some of the high proof stuff, but I kept hearing that this was great, and I wasn't super into it.
I think the cinnamon could be a little off-putting until you're a little bit more used to the difference between just high age and high proof.
Yeah.
Because I think this one, if it on the wrong day, it could come across as really aggressive.
Yeah, and that's what it was at first. And I don't know if it's just where I was in my bourbon journey or my palate. Now, I did start to like the bottle progressively more as it went. Maybe it was the neck pour. But I love this bottle now. Channel will now be known as the Bourbon Stalkers.
Is that us?
Hatfield Barbecue just started buying and drinking in March. Nice. Get the BIB at Bevmo for $16. That's awesome.
Wow. That is awesome.
Let's see. John Matlick says, I'd rather see reviews of a product I haven't tried. Helps in deciding to spend the money on it or not. We all know what Buffalo Trace or Old Tub tastes like, but that's just my 2 cents. Totally agree with that. But the reason we sometimes do some of those more common ones is for people who are, Hatfield Barbecue just said they just started in March.
But a really good example is, what if we buy Old Tub and we absolutely hate it, and you like it? Actually, we should turn that around. We like it. You hate it.
then you'll know to
then
not
you know
take
that
our
you
word
can't
for it.
trust us on
Yeah.
everything.
That's true. So the reason we do that, and so we try to balance it out. That's also the reason, like we've got a ton of samples from people
Which is awesome.
that are really, really good bourbons,
But
like
they're kind of expensive and harder to find.
allocated and hard to find. And the reason we haven't done them all yet is because we don't want to do too many in a row of, here's a bunch of bourbons that you're never going to get, or
But maybe some of
super
them are on the shelf
expensive.
in California or wherever you're.
right. But I mean, when we get like
calling it
the
from.
allocated BTAC stuff,
Mhm.
things like that, we don't want to do 5 videos in a row of that. But we also don't want to do 5 bottom shelf. So we try to just kind of keep it mixed up. But when I first got into bourbon and started watching Whiskey Tube, the main things I wanted to see was the less expensive ones
everyday kind of stuff.
that I was looking at going, well, this is on the bottom shelf for $20, so it must be bad. And I learned to not let that get in the way by watching those reviews of
Exactly.
some of the more common ones.
It's on the bottom shelf because they produce a lot of it.
Cheers, Tennis Gator.
I'm surprised you haven't thrown out the sample that you just received that you're looking forward to doing.
Oh yeah. So Greg Ahrens, friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel.
We've got a couple of good ones coming up from him. He actually gifted us a bottle of Elijah Craig 18, which is amazing.
Wow.
So Greg, if you are in the chat or if you see this, thank you very much again for that. Incredibly generous. And we'll mention that in the video when we do the review of it. Also sent along a sample. He was lucky enough to score a 2022 William LaRue Weller, which is apparently like the
Supposedly-
best bourbon on the planet.
Yeah. What if we hate it? Like
Boy,
everybody likes it and we think it's bad. That's a possibility.
Sugar Kitty says alcohol and bitter sounds like an X. That's awesome. Hatfield, you guys are neighbors. Yes, Greg and I live directly across the street from each other.
Directly.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a little too close, if I'm honest.
Well, it makes it easier, if
Well, yeah. So we
we
can do
film
reviews.
like 10 videos in
and
a
no
row.
concern about driving. I'll just walk home from here.
Great live, guys. Love the bourbon hunt. Awesome. Glad
Thanks.
you're enjoying those. Does anyone know if Jim Beam uses a single mash bill like Wild Turkey? They don't, because this is actually a different one than the regular Jim Beam and the Knob Creeks. So this is the high rye mash bill. It actually
Yes.
says high rye mash bill on here somewhere.
Yep.
So the Basil Haydens and the Old Granddads are the high rye. Now I don't know what they consider high rye.
Sure. Yeah, we don't know the
But
exact.
then it's a different mash bill from the regular
so
Jim
this is
Beam.
same. Oh, this is the same as Old Tub.
Mhm.
Well, this one is
Well,
would be
we're assuming it's the same as Old Tub because they're so similar in that cinnamon note.
right. But then barrel handling is going to change it a little bit in age.
Yeah. Ryan Frank, I'm
Thank
just
you.
catching up on the live stream. 2,000 subs. Wow. Congratulations,
That's
gentlemen.
awesome.
Well, thank you. So we haven't talked about fast food or zebra cakes or anything, which is weird for us because usually our lives get completely derailed,
Yeah.
into
Junk food and
into
bars
into
and,
nothingness.
Yeah.
But overall, if you like 80 proof and you're just looking for a bottom shelf
it's a
80
good choice.
proofer, say you want to mix a whiskey Coke or something like that, just get whatever's cheapest. And this has got some decent flavor to it. This obviously is discontinued, so
Hard to find.
my dream is to have a drinking buddy in the neighborhood. Congrats. Hey, careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying. The OGD for a regular, like you can throw that in a cocktail. You can sip this neat. I think it's great.
I think this is really the choice if you're going to pick one because it's available, kind of inexpensive. It's a liter.
Yep.
Um,
And it's a middle ground on the proof.
Middle
It's
ground
high
on the-
enough, but if you don't like
and on the flavored profile.
Yeah.
Right. It's not watery. It's
Mhm.
not over the top with the proof point. Not that 114 is over the top, but it's higher.
Well, for some people it is.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
But then this one, since it is tough to find in a lot of places, it's, I would definitely recommend getting a bottle if you have a chance around the $30 mark, because I think it's definitely worth that. And a bunch of people said that it's fantastic in an old fashioned. So I would try that as well. Let's see. How can you talk about Little Debbie?
well, I mean,
Bada boom, bada bing. I would suggest bringing back some previously reviewed bourbons as themed videos similar to what you are doing tonight. That's not a bad idea.
it's not a bad idea.
Story times here. Oh, well, let's see. Mike Catalanato Jr. Cheers from Louisiana. Hello, Mike.
Wow.
Story time says, cheers, sorry I'm late. Love you, Greg.
Yeah, we're
What
obviously
the fuck are
friends.
you talking about, man?
It's-
What the hell? Are you drunk?
Ben's here too.
Yeah. That's all right. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up here because
Yes.
we're going about the hour mark. I do have a riddle for you.
A riddle.
Well, I've got something here because we had this theme, and we've been talking about doing this theme for quite a while.
By we, he means him.
But I mean, and this will make sense in a little bit. Let's see. Hold on a second.
It's
Fair
making-
food. Did you two gents get anything from Buffalo Days?
I didn't go down there at all this year.
How much did it cost since price per range is open topic on this channel? I think I got some cheese curds,
I
and
didn't
then
go down there at all.
what else did I get? Oh, I got the Prano pup, the large Prano pup.
Dope pup.
Yeah, Kai and I went down there, and the Prano, it's like a corn dog, but it's batter instead of corn.
Okay.
That's actually what the difference is.
Hmm.
Northwest Bourbon is here. What's happening? We're just getting ready to wrap this up, but cheers. Good to see you.
Thanks for joining.
But I didn't get too much for the fair food.
Hmm.
You know? So, hold on a second. I got another bottle over here
Oh,
that I brought up. I do have this.
ah,
This is a Wild Turkey Master's Keep Revival.
okay.
Okay. Which is funny because we did talk about Wild Turkey a little bit. Obviously, that's a very difficult bottle to find.
It's right there. Anybody who look at the stream will see it instantly.
I found it just sitting right over here. So when we first started doing live streams, we did like a theme thing,
Okay.
right? His wife would pick a bunch of bourbons,
Oh, that's right.
and we'd have to figure out what the theme was. Now, sometimes it like the letters in each bourbon spelled something.
A very rude word.
So-
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was,
They all have a blue label or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm just going to let you look at this and think of what this thing. Now, anybody who's like super ride or die with our channel may be able to figure this out. And I'm going to give you hints as we go here.
Oh, so okay, this is a test for the viewers at home.
Like if you look at this, is there anything you can deduce from that? And this is me just taking the last part of our stream to just derail this. And there's going to be a lot of you that are not going to care about the outcome of this. Just letting you know.
I have no idea. I mean, it does because these are all the same name. It's not like it spells something obvious,
Right.
So I don't think it's that.
Well, so this is a bottle. Speaking of the neck pour, I have been nursing this bottle for over 2 years because it's a very special bottle. Like it's allocated. You
Sure.
can't get them anymore.
And you bought it for a special event in your life.
I did buy it for a special event in my life, and I don't know if anybody in the chat remembers what the special event was.
Was that when you finally hit puberty?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. I finally did when I was old enough to buy bourbon. That's exactly what it was. Damn it, he got it. It's just all about aging, puberty to, being an old man. Mike Hunter is here. His wife did a great job with the themes. Is that, they might be talking about something else. Did Leah do something with themes?
Well, no, when she was doing the
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Idiot. I
Yeah.
just talked about that. So, Mike, you must have been watching
yeah.
these way back in the
We
day.
haven't done those for over a year,
Yeah.
probably.
So, anyway, before we wrap this up,
I don't know, but
figure the theme out.
bird, old man, old man, old man, old.
I mean, I just gave you a hint.
You did?
This is a very special bottle to me.
Yeah.
Well, so think of that.
This is a very special bottle.
Yeah.
Wedding, old man, old man, old man, old man.
So tell everybody what you know about this bottle.
You bought that to open on your daughter's wedding.
Yep. So my daughter got married back in 2020. Oh, that's right. I even emailed Greg when he was headed to Tampa. Oh, yeah, I do remember that, actually.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do too.
So I bought this
Yep.
bottle for my daughter's wedding.
Yes.
Okay.
But what does it have to do with old granddad?
A few months from now, I'm going to open this bottle again and have a celebratory pour out of it.
Okay.
You're still not figuring this out.
Oh, I don't think. Are you sure you want to announce that publicly?
Well, I can now. I've been sitting on this information forever. So I was like, what can you think of that has to do with my daughter and her husband getting married?
Yeah.
And then a few months from now, I'm going to have a celebratory pour that might have something to do with this theme here.
Gotcha. So congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got it. Old granddad had a drink. Is someone going to be an old granddad?
Exactly.
Yes. And Sparky Players got it too.
Got it. Good job,
OG
everybody.
Brick. Ben, are you having a baby? No, but my daughter is. So I am officially going to be a grandfather.
That's amazing.
I texted her before this. I'm like, I'm going to talk about this on the live stream because I've actually known this for like 2 months.
Oh,
a little bit over,
sure,
but
yeah.
can't tell everybody right away until
Dollar
you get to a
General
certain-
Granddad.
Dollar General Granddad. Yeah, there we go. That's awesome. So congrats, Sir Cuts, Brian Vaughn. Well, thank you guys very
What
much.
the
So
hell? Are you drunk?
So yeah, I had to just throw that in there
Okay.
because we came up with the idea of doing this flight before this had happened, before I even knew about this.
Well, it probably
then-
had happened.
Well, I don't know how long ago it actually was that we thought about this idea,
Oh, okay. I'm just messing with you.
but Robert Wayne, new to the chat, maybe not new to the live stream, but new name. Congrats, Gramps. Thank you very much, Dr. Robert OG.
And if you're new around here, you know that you do have to answer the question, are you from
Sacramento? Yes. But yeah, so we had already come up with the idea before I found out this information. So I was like, oh, well, that's perfect.
Oh,
So as soon as I can do this,
okay.
I can just make this about me, and have some fun with it. So I was like, I'm going to make this a riddle for Greg.
Oh, it's pretty
So,
clever.
all right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. So it says you're going to be a young grandpa. What are you, 46? I'm actually 44.
44.
Gulf Clash Stewie, Northwest.
Hey,
A lot of
Stewie.
congratulations here. Why would you have thought most of us won't care? Not that you wouldn't care, just that the riddle thing wouldn't be like, whatever.
No, we're all family here.
Let's see. Congratulations, Grandpa. My oldest grandson is about to turn 21. I'm the old granddad. LOL. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Ryan Frank, another great show. Guys, I'm out. See you later, Ryan Frank.
Cheers.
I think we're out too. So everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining the chat. If you're not already subscribed, please continue or consider doing so.
Consider, yeah.
And if you want to add to the, let's see, Nope, Florida. Did I want to?
Oh, yeah. It is.
The Sacramento thing is it's an ongoing.
It's a running joke.
He considers it a joke. But
Yeah. Someday someone's going to say yes, and it'll be funny. And
holy
until
crap,
then,
you're a year older than me. Love the show. Thanks for hosting us again. Well, thanks for always being in here. And yes, OG, your bottle will be hand delivered in probably 3 days.
we just don't know whose hand it'll be.
So yeah, please subscribe. If you want to contribute to the Ben spoils his granddaughter rotten, because it is going to be a granddaughter, which I'm very
Nice.
excited about.
Congratulations.
We've got a Patreon, so go check that out. Give that like button some loving. Yes, absolutely.
That's what she said.
All right, on that note,
Until next time. See you next time.